Oh, you bet your ass we're VIPs. Ew! Hello again, everybody. Back here in sort of familiar territory to me, pretty local. We are here in Warm Springs, Georgia, and it's the better known for the summer retreat and the little White House of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And so we're gonna take our laps around the property here and check out the town and kind of see why Roosevelt chose this place. And actually, on a more somber note, it's the last place that Roosevelt was alive. So we'll head on in and check out Warm Springs, Georgia. One day.
solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the orders of the President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States that has been done. With a visit of two Japanese emissaries to the Secretary of State last Sunday. And now, after Japanese forces have moved...
So, the first thing you do when you enter the property of the Little White House is you head on in through the museum and check out all the artifacts. And they had a nice little movie. It was about 10 minutes long, but it chronicled FDR's connection and his times here in Warm Springs. So we're just gonna wind our way up this path, and just beyond that bluff ahead of us is the Little White House. So we'll just take a gander at this sign and get a lay of the land and check out the grounds. My goodness, the fountain's not working. There's no water in there. But there's a few coins still stuck in the bottom, so somebody's wishes are still there. Hey, take the shade when you need it, right? But yeah, while we're gonna sit here and take a little rest, I'll give you a little timeline of events and from what I gathered from the nice little park rangers there and the brochures. And so Franklin Roosevelt, he contracted polio around 1921, and so polio it's mostly eradicated nowadays, but before they had the the cure for polio, it was known as infant paralysis. But however, anybody could be afflicted by it. So Roosevelt contracted in 1921, he contracted the polio, and around 1924 was when he made his first visit to Warm Springs, Georgia, the place we're at right now. And it was here he came for the nice warm springs, the water that would come down from the mountains here, and it would provide soothing relief. And it was actually a more buoyant water, and for people that were paralyzed, it allowed them to float and be buoyant. And so it was not only warm therapy for their aches and pains, but it was also a way that they could exercise. So he would always come here, and over the course of 20 years he made over 40 visits here. And it was around 1924, 3 years after he first came here, he constructed this house that's right in front of me, and it would forever be known as the Little White House. And so when he would come into town, he would stay here at the Little White House. And funny thing is, the house itself, and you'll see it when we walk up to it, before he was president, Roosevelt was, I think he was the Assistant Secretary of War and was a big-time Navy man. And he built his house, the footprint of the house kind of resembles a boat. Yeah, you'll see it, and I'll point it out to you. But unfortunately, this is also in April of 1945. He was here on retreat, and he suffered a cerebral hemorrhage, which kind of is a stroke. And it was in this very house that he breathed his last breath and died. And our nation lost its president just weeks before Germany surrendered World War II. So yeah, we'll go in there, we'll go look through the house, and I'll point out each one of these little things. So let's head on in. So here we go. We're going to walk through the front gate of Roosevelt's Little White House. And I would assume that he had a long driveway that snaked its way through here, but obviously they put up the visitor centers and everything, so he would make his long winding drive, and then he would come up to, there's a guard booth, and there's a guard booth. Now that one says for the Secret Service, and this one says Marine Corps. And he would come through, and this is a bump gate, and it just pivots and opens up as such, so it could also swing close and be a barrier. So here's this little round driveway, and we'll just follow as if we're driving down the driveway. So about halfway down the driveway, we have these two houses right here, and this one is the servants' quarters, and we'll just see what this checks out. Okay, gotta go up the stairs. Look at that. Got a little window. You can check things out. Yeah, a little potbelly stove and seating area. And there's the bedrooms. It's got these doors that are shut, And there's another bedroom right here. So this is kind of like a little bunkhouse, kind of like what you would be reminded of like at summer camp or something, like a cabin in the woods. And but yeah, it's not very big. I would assume that's kind of a utility closet. But yeah, 1 bathroom, 2 bedrooms, a seating area and a potbelly stove. And I don't see a shower, but there is a sink, so at least they had something. So we'll head on out. And now there is the second house that's right beside the servant quarters we were just at, and this is the guest house. So visitors and guests would stay in this building. So we have a small little bed and then a little seating area and a fireplace. Again, I guess this would be like a cupboard or a pantry or some sort, and you got a double bed over here. And that's about the extent of our journey through the guest house. Now there's a door in the back corner, and I did see that there was another door from this room leading to that same back corner, but everything's inaccessible, so can't really see much from here. Again, it's about the same size as the house next door, which was the servant quarters, but still has that rustic, woodsy feel to it, like a cabin. And in the middle between both the houses is the 48 star flag. Yeah. So 48 stars for the 48 states, because 48 states was how many states we had the day that Roosevelt died in 1945. So we had yet to acquire statehood for Alaska and Hawaii, which would be number 49 and 50. So 48 star flag. Now, if you remember a few moments ago, I spoke to you about how the layout of this property is in a resemblance of a boat. Well, I'll try to point it out to you as best as possible. If I had a drone, but it's a no drone zone, but from above it would make a lot of sense, but I'll try to point it out to you. So if you think about like the 2 Century and the bump gate right there, think of that as the front tip of the boat, right? And then you got the tier shape driveway that goes around. That would be like the sides of the boat, so shaped like the keel of a boat, right? And then of course you got the mast, which is the 48 star flagpole. You got the 2 guest house, which would be like, you know, cabins. In a sense, they are cabins. And then the main star of the show at the very back end is Roosevelt's little White House. The captain's, you know, the captain's deck. So we'll just head on in, check it out, and take a visit inside the building that Roosevelt died in. See, what did I tell you? A very nautical guy. Let's head on in.
When she bought a new car
We have two
for her
computers at
home,
your convenience.
she pushed forward to say,
I was just informed that The front door is the wrong way in, so we got to go around this way because the lady doesn't want me to miss anything. And I don't blame her. So I suppose this is the correct way inside. Is that an ice box? Incredible. Okay, so this must be the proper door. And immediately we're in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's where they're buried, in Hyde Park, New York.
So I got a RV. It's at the state park. That's where I'm staying. I took my little dog and went to Dowdell Knob this morning.
Knob. Did you see?
I got his picture sitting beside that statue.
Yeah, that's FDR sitting up there on a car seat. Yeah, there's a picture. I'm gonna show it to you when you come on around. And he, you know what, he would go, I'm talking about FDR, he would go up there, love to go up there. And they would have picnics with these farmers that live here in Pine Mountain.
I saw his barbecue up there.
Yeah, isn't that something? Oh, nice up there. Come on in, young man. Come on through with us here.
All right.
And I won't have to repeat all of this. And I'll answer those questions when we come back. This is the dining and living area. I tell people when they first come into this area to look up there at the ceiling. Is this your first visit here, sir?
No, ma'am. It's
Okay.
been a few years.
Okay, well, you may have heard some of this.
Mm-hmm.
You notice those big beams? FDR had Daniel Lumber Company from LaGrange. He owned all that property out there to cut those long leaf pine trees. And they took it to their lumber yard. When they brought these big beams you see back here, they were smooth. FDR was here at the house. He told them, I want you to take those smooth beams back to your lumber yard and I want you to hand hew. Do you see that every beam has been hand hewn? You see that rustic look? That's what he wanted. I think that gives character to this place.
Yes.
And as you all look around, what do you see a lot of in here?
Nautical.
Boats.
Nautical things. You see ships, pictures of ships, models of ships. Well, let's start with this one. FDR and his bodyguard took some of the scraps that was left over from building this house. You see this ship right here? FDR built, and you know what he called that? His whaling ship. Yeah, didn't he do a great job?
He sure did.
Sir, now since you're getting that picture, get that too, because that tells you what that ship is all about. Admissions to who? I didn't get that. Okay, now look at this ship right here. A man from Savannah, Georgia. His name was Joseph Gaventina. A cedar tree fell in his yard, and from that tree he took a cedar plank. And Joseph Gaventina used his carving knife to carve this ship, and he donated it to FDR. Now look right there on the boat. Can you see Roosevelt's name up there on the end there?
Yes, I do. Yep.
FDR loved that ship so much. Do you know what he did? He insured it for $5,000. He loved that ship.
That's a lot of money back then.
Oh yeah, it is. I don't know, when you all were in the museum, did you all see that Willis car?
I did.
Behind it up on the wall, did you see those presidential visits?
Mm-hmm.
Who did you see? On the wall, pictures.
I didn't.
You saw John
I saw the
Kennedy?
car.
Did you see John Kennedy?
Mm-mm.
You
I
didn't see
didn't
Jimmy
notice that.
Carter?
I did. Okay, yes, I did.
You see
Yes.
Bill Clinton?
Yes, okay.
Well, let's talk about John Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
John Kennedy visited here twice. He came here the first time when he was a U.S. Senator. Then he became the President of the United States. He visited here again. Right here with John Kennedy, they said when he walked through that door and these double doors, he perhaps was standing where you were standing right here.
Mm-hmm.
He looked up and he saw this ship. He told that tour guide that was here then, I have to have a ship exactly like that one. Well, you all know that John Kennedy was wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was also something in the Navy, a lieutenant in the Navy. You know what he had that tour guide to do? To call Joseph Gaventina, who built this ship, and he was on the phone. He asked him if he would build him a ship exactly like the one he built for FDR. And he agreed to do so. But now I know you're too young, I believe. You don't remember this. You remember what happened November of 1963 to John Kennedy?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, he was assassinated. That's right. So therefore, Joseph Gaventina did not get to give him that ship, because someone assassinated him. But what Joseph Gaventina did do, he took that ship that he had built for John Kennedy. He's from Savannah, Georgia. Do you all ever visit Savannah, Georgia?
Oh, yes.
Well, the next time you all go, have you been to that Maritime Museum? That's what the name of that museum is. Joseph Gaventina put the ship that he had built for John Kennedy in that Maritime Museum in Savannah, Georgia. One of our tour guides and her husband visited there. And when she went there, she said the ship that is in that museum looks exactly like this one, but it's a little shorter than this one. So you all make sure you go and try to see that.
I wonder how he signed it.
I don't know how he signed that, sir. I guess I should have asked, but I don't know that. But do you know who this guy is right here? That's FDR's hero. He's a Navy admiral. He fought in that Revolutionary War. Y'all know who it is?
I want to say I do, but try to think of some names.
Yeah, that's FDR's hero. Navy admiral, fought in that Revolutionary War. He had to love the Navy just like FDR did.
He was also known as the father of the American Navy.
Okay, father of the American. Thank you, Dalton.
Yeah, the name escapes me for whatever reason. I'm put
Okay,
on the
did that
spot.
help you any? Dalton says he was the father of
When
the
y'all say it, it's
American
gonna-
Navy.
When y'all say it, it's gonna. Oh yeah,
Nickname.
I'm trying to think though.
Well, we don't want you to guess anyway.
It's not-
okay. His name is John Paul Jones.
John Paul Jones. Yeah,
You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
And right below here is the phonograph, has an AM radio on it and a dictaphone. That was pretty high tech back then. I think FDR paid $269 for that phonograph. And while we're on this side, we'll talk about this dining table here set. Eleanor, FDR's wife, owned that Val Kill furniture store along with some of her friends. She had her furniture company to make this dining table, the chairs, there's 6 of them. And if you look under that lamp, you see another chair over there that she had made for FDR, and that hutch there. Now that was great back then because that was during the time of the Great Depression, created jobs for those people who lived in Hyde Park, New York. Yeah, now I think I don't have anything else. Y'all see anything else over here you have questions about? I'm going to talk about this. FDR, you know, he was governor of New York for 2 terms, and he was Secretary of the Navy. Then I think it was 1932 is when he ran for president, his first term. That's 4 years. He didn't stop there. He ran a second term, then a third term, that's 12 years, and then he decided to run a 4th term. But when he ran his 4th term, his health had started to decline. He had high blood pressure, he had congested heart problems. He was a very sick man. But you know, he was traveling down here by train when he came here to Warm Springs. But even though he was very sick, he brought his doctor with him, and I can't remember, Dr. Brewer, I think it was. It came to me then, I had forgotten. He was a cardiologist, was traveling with him when he came down here. So, because he was sick. Well, whenever FDR visited here in Warm Springs, I think the film said he came down here a total of 41 times. And of course, every time he came to visit here, you see that leather chair in front of the lamp. That's where FDR would sit, right in that chair. And of course, one of our guys called this like the Oval Office of the South. You see that card table, that's where he would work. Now, he has a presidential desk in his room, but this is where he would sit and do all of his work. Now, this is prior to his death that I'm gonna mention in a few minutes. He would sit there. I think he collected stamps. You saw that in the museum. He would organize his stamp collection. Loved to read books. FDR was a Harvard graduate. He would sit there and read books. Now that was prior to what? Now I'm going to mention this, and this is something I just learned today. I hadn't put it together until, where's my friend Dalton? Is one of our tour guys. He's worked here a little longer than me. But anyway, he was sitting right there. This was April the 12th, 1945. Now I'm gonna combine, you see those papers that are there, that ink pen and the ink. FDR was working on a Thomas Jefferson speech. That's why you see those papers there. Of course, while he's doing that, now remember I told you he was very sick. Eleanor, his wife, called Daisy Bonner, the cook, and asked her if she would prepare healthy diets or snacks for FDR, because he was sick. So that's why you see that bowl, which she had prepared oatmeal, and you see the coffee cup, cream, and sugar. That was all there. But also now I'm going to put this together. You see that easel right here? Shumatov, a Russian artist, had that easel sitting about right here. FDR was sitting there because he went on and did different things at different times that I just hadn't put together, but she was doing his portrait while he was sitting there. Of course, FDR continued to do whatever else he wanted to do, presidential things like writing that Thomas Jefferson speech. He perhaps was working on that speech as she was doing his portrait, and he was sitting in that chair. But FDR, I think he had two cousins sitting right here. FDR looked up at her and he told Shumatov, I have a severe headache. I think you all saw that on the film. That's when he had that cerebral hemorrhage, which is like a stroke. As he was sitting there, Shumatov doing his portrait, she stopped doing the portrait when his head went down, and she went over to check on him. Of course, you know, whenever he traveled down here, he always brought his security agents, and those Marines came in those little green tents you see out there. Well, anyway, Shumatov went out and got them and brought them in here. FDR's head was still down. From that cerebral hemorrhage, I guess he was something in like a coma. Well, they saw that and they knew where his doctor, Dr. Brewer, I think his name was, that was that cardiologist that traveled with him. And they knew where he was. They brought the doctor in here. When the doctor looked at FDR, his head was still down, and he asked them to move him from this chair right here, right through here on the other side of that wall is FDR's bedroom. You all are going there in a few minutes. And they laid his body on his bed. Dr. Brewer worked with FDR for sometimes more than an hour or two. But within that time, that's when he died, right there on his bed, April the 12th, 1945. And of course, you all know that had he lived for a little while longer, FDR would have known that he had ended World War II. Was he a great president? I think he was. I think he gave us electricity, and he gave us, I'm thinking about myself too, Social Security. In the military guys here, you a military guy?
Yes, ma'am.
What branch of service, sir?
I'm Army.
Army.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, I wanted to mention this. My husband was in the Air Force, and he stayed in 4 years. After he got out, he decided he would go to college, back to college, and he got his degree from Tennessee State University.
I know where you're going with
Didn't
that.
have to pay
I did
a
it too.
dime.
I did it too. Yeah.
How did you get it now? Who
The
gave
GI
you
Bill.
that GI Bill? Who gave that to you?
Well, I had to have been Roosevelt. Right?
It was, you remember that. Thank
Okay, yeah.
FDR.
Yeah.
FDR gave us that GI Bill. Wasn't he a great president?
Mm-hmm.
He was just fantastic. Yes, he was.
Wow, they had sentries.
Everywhere. All points. Big old spotlight poles. Yeah. Oh yeah, this place was protected.
Slate roof.
Wonder what that leaves.
There's a door going up under the porch there.
Yeah. Another sentry post. Yeah. All right. This was the guest bedroom now. Yeah. Yeah, there's wheelchairs everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. So then we got what, the president's bedroom. Yeah. So this is the bed he died in.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they ever tell you about the secret bathtub thing?
I don't think so.
So, because he was paralyzed, they put a bigger tub in, and then every now and then he would drop things on the other side of the tub and it would get lost. So what he did is he created this slope between the tub and the wall. So if anything dropped down there, it would roll
Come
down.
down here.
Yeah. You see that?
That's pretty smart.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, this was a specially installed one to help him get in and out easier. And there's the old presidential throne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Charmin.
Yeah. Very old
90-year-old Charmin. Whatever it is.
It holds up. So Eleanor's bedroom. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a different looking light fixture. Sconce.
Yeah.
Where'd that go?
I don't know. It's probably a closet.
What's that door up there?
That's a little closet.
Closet? Yeah.
Yeah.
Closet right there. The closet on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Linen closet right there.
Follow.
Glad to see you're enjoying the sight.
That's the effort. Tell them about Fowler. He's
Fowler.
kind of special doctor.
Yeah, old Fowler. He was a Scottish Terrier. Pretty nice little dog. He was given to him by his cousin Daisy Suckley. She was here the day he died. She's actually the reason we have all the information about what happened to a T.
Okay.
What happened, because she had a habit of keeping a journal where at the end of every day she would write down what happened in the journal. And then she wrote down exactly what happened that day too.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty nice, and then she gave it to historians and they were able to use that to write an official report on it.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty nice, but she's the one that gave Fala to Roosevelt
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember how old he was whenever he was given to him, but he was one of the most famous presidential pets, pretty much. He had a lot of fan clubs,
Yeah.
and those fan clubs would send a lot of letters, which
Oh, yeah.
had to be, of course, responded to at some point. That's why the fan clubs would send in so many letters that eventually they'd have to hire Paula, his own secretary, to be able to write back to the people that sent the letters and respond to each one.
So are these the scratches?
Yes,
The
sir.
scratches
Right here?
I was hoping you
on
would
the
see
little
those
windows.
scratches.
They're all the 2 windows there.
Oh.
The ones on the bottom were basically concentrated around this area. So what I'm assuming happened is with that one, he would just kind of scratch at the same spot over and over
yeah.
while he was sitting down.
Yeah, you can kind of see the glare.
Yeah, and then whenever you get up to the scratches all over this one, are,
Oh yeah.
well, they're all over that one.
Oh yeah.
So what probably happened is that was probably the glass that he scratched whenever he got excited and started jumping around.
Oh yeah, jumping really tall there.
This morning,
Oh, yeah.
They were talking about.
Of course, he was a little bigger than that
Oh,
statue.
for sure.
Because,
only need
Oh yeah, you can
one,
reach that.
yeah, we don't really have like
Respond
life-size
to letters.
statues of them.
Okay.
And then when
The Scottish
when
Terriers are
Roosevelt got in there,
just
he
slightly
had
larger than that.
7.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
Not
he
quite that
did.
small, and definitely not as
That
small
was
as the
a
statue
what a
over in
man.
the admissions area. But
Yeah.
he's a pretty adorable dog.
Yeah, it's awesome. Had a lot of fans.
A lot of fans.
And the intercom system, is it?
That was from the 80s before.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the DNR got control of this place in around 1980. So around the early 60s, late 70s, they had a thing where instead of having us having people like us, like interpretive staff down here,
Oh, it would just
they
play a
would have
recording.
these things. They would have either a button in every room that you could press, just like the room in there, or they'd have it where there was a pressure plate underneath,
Oh,
like
yeah.
underneath the little carpet. That's what they had for in here and in that room right there.
Okay.
There was a pressure plate where it activated and just told you things about the room when you walked into it.
Okay.
It's pretty
High
nice.
tech.
The button
Yeah.
for the kitchen area is actually still there.
Mm.
If you like want to see it.
Yeah.
It's not exactly well hidden. But here's the little
There's the
intercom
box,
section, and
yeah.
here's the.
Oh.
Oh,
It doesn't work because
Yeah.
obviously it's been disconnected.
Yeah.
But we can't take it out.
What does it say? I didn't see that before.
Yeah. That's the message right there.
Yeah.
We just covered it in the little
Preserve it.
film there,
Yeah.
so no one can write over it or anything like that. But it's a bit hard to read through it, so
Yeah.
they just put that there. To show you what it says. Pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
And just a lot of history here.
Yeah.
Little
what is
ringer.
that? What is that?
It's a ringer.
For towels? Or
You ring for wringing out towels.
oh, okay.
Is it supposed to be there?
I don't know.
I mean, the water's going down the wall.
The old phone. Mm.
I assume they probably had some sort of bucket or tray underneath it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all can show them those pictures of down there's knob. I think he's staying there. I believe.
But staying near it.
Didn't you tell me you was
I'm
at
staying.
down?
I took my dog there this morning.
Uh-huh.
So you saw the life-size statue then?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the picture that the statue itself is based on, the pose and everything. That's the
This-
picture that the statue's based on.
Okay.
You can see it there, yeah. You know the thing he's sitting on, right? You know the little thing underneath the
Car
legs?
seat.
Yep. Car seat.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because back then they used to be able to take car seats out of the car and place them as an impromptu little bench.
Yeah. That'll work.
Pretty nice. He's also doing the same thing in there.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them told me about how weak he looked. Show him that picture too.
I'm assuming she's
Oh,
probably talking
from
about
right
this
here.
one. But
Yeah.
that was taken the week that he was down here in April, but we're just not sure which date. Like which day in April that it was.
Yeah.
We know that we know when the little reference images you're gonna see later on in the legacy were done, because those were done in both on April 10th and 11th. They
Okay.
did 2
days before and one day
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
2 days before and
Mhm.
one or two about 1 day before. she used those to like basically sketch out the pose and proportions and
Oh yeah.
pretty much everything else, like the shading and all that,
Yeah.
while he worked on his Jefferson Day speech on the little table there.
Yeah.
So
Jefferson.
he was working on his speech while she was doing the portrait. The only real reason she would have needed him like right there in front of him was basically just for color selection, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, she made him look a lot better than
Then he appeared.
he
Yeah.
appeared in the actual portrait itself.
Oh, yeah.
You'll actually see because she went back about a year later and made a separate portrait.
Oh, where she
finished,
completed it.
Where she
Yeah.
completed it.
Okay.
That's called the finished portrait.
Okay.
She left the unfinished one unfinished for historical stuff.
Yeah.
Historical significance.
Posterity. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. And I know that's up there. I'm probably gonna head up there in a minute here.
pretty much.
Okay.
The reference images I'm referring to, they're on two little diagonal plaques.
Okay.
Like right below the
The portrait.
portrait itself.
Okay.
It's also complete with some preliminary portraits that she made for him in order for him to decide which background he wanted.
Oh, okay.
And those three are also beside the portrait itself.
This year.
It's pretty nice.
Interesting.
Little white house.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head on out.
All right.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
No problem. Filming a video.
Yeah.
Was the vice president, you know.
Oh yeah.
Up that way? Okay. Thanks, sir. Y'all have a good one.
Does this work? Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Let's see. So that was when he was writing his paperwork at the house, I reckon.
Our current president needs to quote that sometime.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Okay, so we just exited through the gift shop and didn't buy anything this time. I do remember I did buy some like jellies and pickles last time I was here. They got it. But I think what we're going to do now is try to see if we can't locate these mystical warm springs and see where Roosevelt used to take a therapeutic bath. So let's jump in the car and go. So on my way out of the little White House, and I've noticed that, you know, the bridge says 1955, but the bridge crosses this little paved road, and it's just got me wondering if I wonder if that's the original driveway. But the little access bridge goes over here as well, so let's see, cross the road before I get hit by this car coming. But I believe this might have been the original Roosevelt driveway. So we currently find ourselves about, I don't know, a few miles from the little White House, and we found the facilities. There's both modern and very dated cottages around here, but this is the spot of the treatment facility, the hospital where people come for rehabilitation. Being, yes, that the town is called Warm Springs. This is where they go. See, you got an old cottage right there. Now that's one of the more dated cottages, and so people would come here from all over, from all walks, and stay at this retreat, much like Roosevelt did, and seek therapy through the warm, soothing waters of the Warm Springs. So yeah, check it out. Now I'm pretty close to this building. I mean, it's got a few modern amenities, but for the most part it says authorized personnel only. So we're gonna, I guess, focus on more of these modern buildings. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a sign for tours, and let's go see if they got anything that we can check out inside these buildings. So they're not doing tours at the moment, but the nice receptionist lady allowed me to use the restroom, which is a good thing. And she did indicate that there is a swimming pool. So let's go check out what this swimming pool looks like. Now, she did mention that the pool was around in the early times of FDR when he was here. So I guess, I mean, if I had to take a guess, and I mean, I should have asked, but maybe the pool is full of the warm spring water, the mineral water. But yeah, we'll just jump in the car and head on down and check it out. We found the pool, close the door to the car. Let's see what this says. Warm Springs Treatment Pools. Georgia's largest and most famous warm spring delivers 914 gallons of 88-degree Fahrenheit per minute to a catch basin beneath the buildings at the base of the hill in front of you. Let's go around and check it out. It does say over here though that the pools are closed for renovations, but I guess this is the pool house. Let's just walk around. Yeah, might be struck out on this one, so let's just walk around and let's see what this is all about. It's a nice little walkway here. They really made it very regal. So let's see. So we've finally made our way through the end of this hallway. Now there are doors. Got a door. So I assumed that it's an indoor pool. Got the windows blocked up, but as the sign referred to, this is the hill. And I would assume, and you know, this is where the sidewalk ends, but I wonder if that's the catch basin, like the catch house. And must feed into where the pool is behind there. But you know, it's closed, so we're not going to bother ourselves with trying to get in and see it. Hold on a minute. There's some light. I'm not going to worry about it. Locked down, closed for renovations. And so, yeah, we'll just make our way out of here, and don't want to further bother anybody. This is, you know, an active hospital for rehabilitation, and people come here to seek treatment and you know, get back on their feet. So we're just not gonna mess around with that. Let's just get back on the road and see what else we can get into. Well, folks, that'll about do it for this episode. I appreciate you guys joining me, and I don't know, subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Hit the notification bell. Plenty more coming. So as I'm leaving Eleanor's Alley, I'll also leave you with this episode's history.